Hi, and welcome to PK Glitz. I'm Janelle Marshall.
And I'm Jim Marshall.
And today we're going to have a class on watercolor picks and EP Lite. And Jim ordinarily demonstrates this at the shows, and he does such a great job of it that we're going to get him to do our class today. Hope you enjoy.
Okay, for today's class, we're going to need certain items that are here on the table. We're going to need a quickie glue pen. We have here a little alligator clip and with a watercolor brush at the other end. We have a couple jars of the Embossing Lite glitter. Okay, a couple different colors. We have our picks here, the watercolor picks. Now you can use a black StazOn ink pad and stamp your design and get the same kind of an image. I would recommend the black StazOn or a non-water soluble black ink. Right? We have our watercolor pencils, and of course I'm going to put some water in these containers, plus our heat tool. So these are the items that we need for today's class. Okay, to begin, what I typically do is I will find, first of all, look at my image, and I want to decide what colors I want to use. And in this case here, it's an iris, and I know that an iris has more than just one color inside of it. It usually will have at least 3 different colors, a dark, a medium, and a light. But in this case here, we also have some green on the leaves, and there's going to be at least 2 colors of there, so that would be 5 colors. I have picked out 8 different colors here, which is a lot of colors, but they all pretty much work together. So I want to start with my darkest color first. I find it's easier to go from dark to light. So we're going to start by taking our darkest color, lavender or purple here. I would call this more of a purple color, and I'm going to do the dark veins of the flower like so, and just kind of trace them in there. You don't need to be adding a lot of color at one time. I'm just getting my veins started like so. Okay, that's enough of that color there. We're now going to take the next lightest color. So let's set this one aside, and we're just going to go with the lighter color. Actually, this one is a little bit darker in intensity, and maybe I would have done that one first, but it's not going to matter that much. Remember now, we're just doing some scribbling here. We're not trying to fill the whole thing in with precise color. We're just doing some scribble to get the color down. You don't need to fill the whole area, just get color in the general area. That's enough of that color. Let's go to another lighter color. And again, I'm just making some lines, because when I add water to this, it's really going to spread those colors and blend them together. And you can see it's starting to come together now. A little bit of that over here, some up in here, maybe that color right back in there. Alright, let's go with a lighter color yet. I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to go to this one here. This looks like the one I want. So let's go with this lightest blue color. Yeah, I'm going to kind of finish off this flower with that. And once again, I'm kind of scribbling the color into place. I'm not trying to fill the whole thing in, because the water will do that for me. Stay in the lines, of course. You remember doing that in elementary school, right? Staying in the lines. Alright, now let's get some green down. I see before I do the green, I've got some fuchsia here. I think it needs a highlight. So let's just take some of this fuchsia color and just add a little bit. If you look at an iris in the sunlight, you'll see it has more than just a single color in there. If you really look at it, you're going to see it's got some highlights of other colors. Okay, that's enough of that. Now let's go with those green colors for the leaves. That's my dark color. I'm going to put it in shadow, the darkest green. Just kind of fill it in a little bit like so, a little bit under there. Now I'm going to take my lightest green and do the tip in right there. Okay, I see one spot right in the middle here I missed, so I'm going to go back and get one of my lighter colored blues. I'm just filling in this last little area here. Okay, now I have finished with my watercolor pencil, but I want to show you something. If you look at this, I'll turn it around for you, you see how it's just a bunch of scribbled lines. I want to blend all of those lines together with my watercolor brush. So I'm going to take some water, dip my brush in the water. Now the thing to remember, if you just dip your brush in the water and you apply it, it'll be too much water to the watercolor surface. So what you want to do, and by the way, I just remembered something. I'm working on cardstock. You don't need watercolor paper to do this. Watercolor pencils don't require a lot of water. So what we're going to do, to emphasize that point, we're going to take our brush, dip it in the water, and rake off the water with your fingers. So now it's a damp brush, not a dripping wet brush. And let's just start blending our colors. I'm going to start pulling them together and you'll see them blend. And there we go. I'm just kind of scrubbing it and going out to the edges with my brush. Okay, let's get some more water on there. And again, I raked off the excess and I'm blending my colors. And I'm just kind of working to the very edge of the flower. Get some more water on there. And you can see it pulling together. I'll show you one petal finished and then I'll complete the whole thing in a second here. Alright, there is one petal finished. And you see all the different colors in there, how they blend together? Let's keep going. I'm just going to work on that a little bit more to blend those colors. There they go. Okay, let's go over here and do this other petal right in here. Alright, and now up through here. And you can see how fast this goes. It's really a fun process and allows the artist to be very versatile in the application of the color. It's not tight. You scribble your color down and blend it with water, just like I'm doing here. Okay, and I keep raking that water off. If I see there's too much water on my brush and I'm getting a blurred image, I just keep raking the water off like that and re-wetting it if necessary, because my fingers are still wet. Okay, here we go over here. And you can do one of these, probably one with this many colors and this much of a surface area, in probably less than 5 minutes, depending on how fast you are with the water. See how I'm scrubbing that? And you kind of have to scrub it with your brush to get those colors to blend. But there they go. They're working well. Get a little bit right up in there. Okay, here we go. Let's get these outside petals. And then when I finish the flower, I'll do the leaves after the flower. Okay, we're getting close here. Let's go back and do this guy over here. I can see those colors didn't, there it goes. Even after it starts to dry, you can go back with your water and clean it up a little bit if you see some lines that haven't blended together, as I just saw that with that one. And I see one more right over here. Look at this, right over in here. I didn't get that flower petal right there. All right, now let's do the leaves of the plant. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna really rake off that water because we're in a real fine area here and I don't want that water to puddle over the line drawing or the stamp, whichever the case may be, stamp design. And you can see I don't need an awful lot of water to make that blend. Okay, this is my finished image. Now that's just the watercolor alone. And what we want to do is now take it up a couple notches by adding some of our light glitter. And I've picked 2 light glitters. This is almost a translucent or a see-through glitter. It's not opaque. If you use opaque on top of your art, it will cover over the art. By using the light glitter, you can see your colors and artwork through the glitter. So that's why I've picked the light glitter, and I've picked 2 colors. I'm going to put some green on the stems, and I'm going to use some lavender color on the flower itself. I think the 2 colors is plenty of color to do this, to accomplish the results. So what I'm going to do is turn this back around, I'm going to add my glue with a quickie glue pen. Now this is a great tool to have. This does many different things. You can fix errors. You can do a lot of different things with quickie glue. I recommend it highly. I'm going to take my quickie glue and just draw some lines like so. And I'm going to make those lines come from the center, in this case, of the flower. Just from the center in the corners where you have maybe a shadow and you want to take that shadow line up a bit. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's put a little bit right here. All right, we're going to take a coffee filter, and the reason I'm using coffee filters is that nothing will stick to that, or in terms of the glitter anyway. I'm going to take my glitter and just put it on where I put my glue. Tap it. Okay, now this will not intensify until you heat it with your heat tool. So let's do 1 color at a time, and I'm going to knock this color back in my bowl here. Okay, and I'll put this away, and we're going to go to our next color. I'm going to take my glue pen and just in the couple of areas here for some green, really to highlight that particular area. Let's go with the green. All right, that should be enough. All right, and we'll set that down. Now we're ready for heat after I put this glitter away. All right. Now, what we're going to do is heat this up with our heat tool. Now, the thing to remember with your heat tool is you're not trying to cook. You're just trying to melt that glue, and it goes very fast. So I'll get my tool nice and warm. Should be hot enough about right now. It is. And I'm just going to hit, and you'll see it change over. It'll really start to sparkle when it's finished. And you can see it. I see it from here. It's changing ever so slightly. And that is basically finished. Let me show you this under the light. And you can see that little bit of glitter has really taken it up a couple notches, as Emerald says. All right? That card is finished, except for maybe I would want to stamp some lettering or a stamp design up here, a slogan or an image up here.
Didn't Jim do a great job? Let's look at some more of his watercolor images. And here's our little fairy pixie pattern. Didn't he do a great job on that one? And who said watercolors need to be pale? Isn't that the most gorgeous monarch you've ever seen? And that gorgeous iris. Look at all of that vibrant color.
Be sure to join our email family so we can let you know about our next class.
And also tell you about class kits that are available in the PK Glitz store. Until next time.